I had myself on mute. I was talking away, and I just realized I had myself on mute. So tell me if you hear me now, because it should be I should be good. So Diane, can you hear me now? I hope you can, because I hope I just unmuted, and I hope that you can hear me. Yes. Yay. Okay. Yes. I had muted myself for a few minutes. So now we are good to go. So to welcome, and I'm so glad everybody's here. And I've been really having a lot of fun this week. Oh, good. Yay. Lynn T. Yes, Lynn, Sandra, Catherine, Diane, Bartha. Yay. All right. Everybody's so excited. Now we're going to be doing, I've been having fun with these, get me onto something, especially if I love something. I can't, I can just keep going and going. But these little tag books have been a really fun thing to work on. And I'm going to go over this kit just a minute. Hi, Wisconsin, greetings. I'm from Arizona. Hello, Germany. All right. So this is the tag book kit, and of course, if you take the tag book kit, if you don't have it yet, you just really need one, because they're just nice. First of all, you've got this reusable pouch, which is really handy. You get nori paste, and I'm going to actually use this today. Hi from Nashville. All right, Susan and Karen. Got this little folder. These a nice fresh one. Oh, good, I get a fresh one. I'm going to take everything out of the kit because I want you just to see what you get. And then, of course, we're going to go a little crazy today. Well, I'm going to go crazy, and I hope you go crazy with me. I've got the paper. We've got enough of this paper to do some collaging on the tags. You get a needle in the thread. You get 2 tags, so you can make 2 books. And you get an instruction sheet, which is wonderful because it gives you all the little specs you need. Hi, Deb from Alberta. I'm hoping, Pat, oh, there's sound. Okay. I had to unmute myself, and I see that it's green, so hopefully everything's good. Carefree, Arizona. Yay. We're neighbors, Tammy. So I've got this. So we've got this. I've already shown you how to make the kit a couple times. I think there's a video up there. But the fun part is you can collage on the tags with the paper that's provided, and then you can start to customize it. And this is where I go crazy, and this is what I have fun. The paper that comes in the kit is very nice. It's actually, I'm just going to undo it real quick. You get the collage paper, but you also get, which is nice, you get a lot, nice array, nice assortment of different colors that kind of work together. And then you get the paper that goes inside. Now, I always change my paper out because this is nice paper. It will take watercolor and, mixed media, lightweight, kind of light washes, and it's nice. But I like to do things. And so I like to keep these pages because this is the size that I need for my book. So I can use this as a reference, whatever these sizes are, and it's nice to have that as a reference. So I'm going to take all these and move them out of the way for a sec, because I really want to show you all the goodies we're going to do with books that are already made. So if you've already made books, you've got your tag book, and you want to just kind of do some really fun things with it, this is what we're doing today. So, wow, you're from Georgia, right? Rebecca Parsons, this is my last name. So maybe we're related. So what I did was I got some little charms and embellishments and goodies in this little bowl, and I've got a little hole punch. I've got some thread. I'm also going to show you even today how to do a little image transfer, because someone mentioned it in one of the live streams kind of recently. So I'm going to show you how I do a image transfer using this blender, and I'm going to do it on the Mashi Hosho, which is, this is a very versatile paper. It's really wonderful because it accepts watercolor. It does image transfers very well, and you can collage on it. You can gel print in it. So it's a beautiful, almost cardstock weight washi paper, and I'm going to be using that. So I wanted to show you that. So let me just show you kind of what I'm where I'm going here because I've got a lot of stuff I want to share with you. So I think a couple weeks ago, or was it last week? I don't, whenever it was, we were doing something, but I wanted to kind of share with you my tag books again because like this one is, I took out the paper that it came with and I used the Yasutomo Niji brand watercolor paper and made the pages for that. So that's how I get this nice watercolor weight so that I can really go have some nice heavy washes on it. And all I did was add a little fussy cut leaf, and on the back I used some of the paper that comes in the kit, and then just covered it. And then the tag itself, I can see that I had used a stamp pad and did kind of a just rubbed with a felt one of those felt domes, and I rubbed the color onto it because I don't like just white. For some reason, I always have to color things. So that's the simple one. That's like one of the first ones I did, and I really like to replace the twine that's in the kit with this baker's twine because it comes in really fun colors. So you can get, the baker's twine can come in black and white, greens, reds, and if you want to color it, you can actually dye this into any color you want. Like this one here, this blue and black string is actually the black here, but I just did it in indigo color. So yeah, that's how you can kind of customize the colors. And then this one, I think I showed you a couple weeks ago I took the tag and I collaged on it, but I didn't really like what I did. So I painted over that. And then you can see some of the stuff underneath. And I just did a fussy cut leaf over it and I actually inserted black paper so I can play with the black inks and stuff. And I showed that to you, and I added a little extra piece for the little reinforcer. And that one I like. That one's fun. I'm just going to kind of put these away so I don't repeat. This one, that's nothing exciting. Let me just see if there's any place I could add to it. Now, so this one I already finished the front and back, so I can't really add to it now. So I did, watercolor paper on top of the tag. Watercolor paper is the pages. And then I painted this with a chalk paint, the back, and then I put these little, these little fussy cut circles and glued them on and then used a white marker. So I can't really add anything to that. So I'm going to set that one aside. And I'm just going to look at ones that I could add to. Like this one here. Let's see, it's in progress. Yeah, so this is the one I'm going to show you how I do this little belly band and the heart card. I'm going to show you that today. And I'm going to also show you, if you want to, I can show you this little bookmark just so you can mark your pages if you want. Let me know in the comments. And I do have a place that I could insert something. So I'm going to put something on the back. So I'm going to save this one here as one that I'm going to work on today. And then I'm going to look at this one and see if I need to do that. Okay, so this is new too. This is fairly new. I just started it this week. It's still not done, so I'm going to add some things to it. But I wanted to share with you how I got here. So I made the tag book with the collage paper, with the paper that was included in the kit. And I painted the inside with the chalk paint next, which is the blue. So that blue is chalk paint or just some acrylic paint, and I like the matte acrylic so that it doesn't make it shiny. And I put a pocket on it. Now I'm going to show you how I did that pocket. You might have seen me do it before, but I'll show it again and size it for this tag book. So we can do that today. And the pages here are the Mashi Hosho. And what I did was some of them are gel printed and some of them are plain, so I can journal in it. But it kind of makes a finished piece. I've got some nice color pages on the inside, and then I can journal or whatever. Now the back part, and I'm going to show you how I did this, is this is the belly band that I stuck in the journal, and then this is just a little, it was an artist trading, it was going to be an artist trading card, and it's a really thick piece. It's actually a Strathmore illustration board, and I just thought I didn't want to glue it in because I wanted to read the thing on the back. So I made this little little belly band holder, and I'm going to show you how I did that today. So we're going to do this, and then I'm going to show you some other things, like how I'm going to just kind of finish things off. And in fact, I'll do that with this because, oh, I still want to show you this. Okay, last but not least, as far as what we're going to do. Hi in Texas. Hello. So this one I had started, and I did some more today. I decided I'm going to kind of get back into my bird thing because I love birds. I haven't done birds in a while, and I did this one. Yeah, this is one I did today, and showed it on my Instagram. But it's the little pocket, and I did one little painting today, and then what I did is I also made a fold out accordion and I glued it on the back. So now this tag book not only has a single signature, it also has a fold-out accordion, which is a fun surprise. A magnet closure, that's a good idea. Let's see, maybe. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I did these, and I'm going to do it with the Mashi Hosho, but you could do it with watercolor paper. And look, it fits just nicely. And I put a little charm, a little bird charm, a little shrink art bird charm. And so a magnet would have to be a really strong magnet, but yeah, I think you could. You'd have to put the magnet like on this side, like the Neodymium. I think that's the name of it, Neodymium. The really strong magnets, the really flat, little small flat ones, or you can use even the little Velcro buttons. You could do that on both of those. Yeah, absolutely. And if you get the really strong magnet, you can actually cover that magnet with paper and nobody will see it. You can have the magnet on both sides and it be covered with the paper, and it will just disappear. That would be fun. I'll do that and I'll post it. I'll do that because I do have some of those magnets hidden in my stash somewhere. So these are the two books that I can work on today. This one here is the one that that's least. It still has more to go. So, but look how fat you can make it, and you can really pack these up with a lot of stuff. So you're using grommets. That's a great idea too. So using the little grommet would be great. Or if you want to get rid of the hole and you want it to like not even look like a tag anymore, and you don't want the string, I'm really excited about trying the magnet. And then if you could take the string off and just put a little charm or a little tchotchke or something over the hole, like, something so that it covers that hole, or you can just collage over it and nobody will even know it was there. So yeah, this is loud. See, you all give me great ideas too. Yes, thank you, Phoebe, for putting that, because yes, I've employed magnets many times in like boxes and other things, but this tag book does have a lot of stiffness, so it needs a strong magnet. You can see it wants to lift up. Now, you could do two magnets, one on here and here, maybe there like that, and it might work. So give it a try. I think this would be fun. So this one is, I'm going to show you, let's see. I want to show you something. It's because it's in my bowl and I want to show you this, something I had done in fodder school. It's a little tchotchke, a little thing. And I wanted to mention that since I used the paper from the book or from the kit, and then I wanted to add my own something that's hand painted, so it gives a little more handmade feel or hand painted feel. And this is the Mashi Hosho that I had done some gel printing on, and that is what I used for the pages on the inside of this book. So you can see I cut some of it to make the pages. I cut 2 sheets, and then I have the extra, and I thought I would glue in that extra just to kind of, it covered up a seam, actually, because I didn't like the seam that was there, and it needed to divide up the space a little bit. Hi, Tom. Hi, Lynn and Tom. Oh, that's awesome. Hi. So the next thing I wanted to add to it, I thought, I was looking at things like, you can add little bits, things like this, but that might be too busy. I just, even though I will reserve this for something, but I did kind of pull some little goodies that I wanted to try. But I really liked this because it's thick. It's going to give it some body. And I just thought it looked really nice. So when it's closed, you can see the heart, but not the whole thing. So I'm just going to glue it in because I want that done, because I really had thought about it today. And I thought, oh, this needs to be done. So it's going to take a while for that one to dry. But this is just how I work on things. You get things in progress, and then you can just put them in a bowl or on your desk somewhere, and then you can get an idea, like get some inspiration, just like an idea. Like today, this one came today. This little idea of using this little thick kind of cardboard embellishment, which gives us now more dimension and layers and weight. It also, there's some glue coming out there, squeezing out. It also gives it more body. So the tag cover is now becoming a lot more sturdy. Not that these are sturdy tags just on their own, but you can really make them sturdy. So here's my little piece, and I think that really kind of finishes that off. And I love having words on there. And then I'm going to kind of keep this one in the same theme and color way. So I've got blues and calming greens, and I'm just going to keep it that way. And then I may just start journaling and doing things on the inside. But right now we've got this little watercolor piece here, and then this mixed media collage with some text on the back and my little leaf thing. Oops, I've got it. There we go. And slide it back in. But yeah, this is coming out nicely. Now since I can't do anything more to this one, I'm going to tie this one up and let that one sit under something kind of heavy, so that I can so that it will dry flat. I'm just going to go ahead and stick it on something while this glue is drying. So I'm going to put it under a book right now. There we go. It's under a book. Now, I'm going to show you, while I'm here, I'm going to show you what size is the tag. Oh, good question. What size is it anyway? I'll tell you. I think it's a 4x8, but I want to make sure. And you can, these are, oh, did you hear that? That was my ruler just falling. All right, it's fine. 4x8. So these are those nice big, I think, whatever size, 8. Size 5, I don't remember now. But anyway, it's a 4x8, and this is nice. They come like this, nice, and they're very sturdy. There's some you can buy that have a yellow kind of tone to it. I like the white, but you can buy them. Oh, thank you, Janet, on my book. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, my book came out, and everybody's getting my book, and I'm excited that it's here, that people are getting it and giving me great giving some good feedback, and I'm happy about that. Okay, so the tags are 4x8, and you can apply this same idea to any tag, but this is just a great size for creating. It's not too big, it's not too small, so you can create, do some things in it. But let me show you this is here. I've got a couple techniques I'm going to show you using this. This is the Mashi Hosho, and I did some image transfers, and then I tried one. I did one of these in black and white, just grayscale, and then I tried one in color, and it didn't come out so great. I don't really like it that much, so I'm just going to glue some paper on top of this to cover it up, and I'm going to show you how I make the best out of this little accordion fold. And what I'm going to do with this one, it's this one. So I'm going to take this accordion fold. Nope, I'm not going to put it in this one. Got to put it in this one. There it is. Yeah, I'm going to put it in this one. So in this book, what I'm going to do when I'm finished with it, I'm going to put this in the back of this book like this, and it's going to close like that. So I want to make sure that the paper that I'm using is going to go with it. I just realized I've got this paper I found. It's some rice paper that I gel printed. Yeah, it'll go with it just fine. So I'm not, yeah, it's all good. So I've got this paper. It's a rice paper from one of our rolls. And I've got the Mashi Hosho, but I don't like this side of it. So I'm going to fix that. But I'm going to show you first how I do the image transfer. And I'm going to use a Chartpak Ad Marker. It's P-0. That's an item number P-0-201. You need to do this in a well-ventilated area. Today, I'm not in a ventilated area, and I'm only doing a small piece, so it's okay. But if you're using this stuff has xylene in it, and it's very, it's not really good to breathe. So you want to do ventilated area or wear a respirator, or just, use caution when you're using it. Since this is a small piece, I'm not going to worry about it. It'll be fine. I'll be okay. I've been through worse, right? So I'm going to take some little, here's the important thing I'm going to share with you. when you're doing this, you want really good saturated laser toner-based copies. So if you want to go to a copy place, if you don't have a toner-based copier at home, most people, they're kind of pricey and they're kind of big. Just go to like Office Max or something, and just print out some stuff, and you can then have a collection of things you can transfer. You don't want paper that doesn't have a dark, really dark, lots of toner on it, because the reason I know that is my printer is acting weird because I put some non-official ink cartridge or ink toner cartridges in there, and it's not printing out dark, so it comes out really faded, and it didn't work. It doesn't work on this. It doesn't transfer. So that you just need a nice, fresh toner-based copy, and nice with a lot of contrast to it. So I'm going to take these. I just love these little kitty cats, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. Maybe I'll have that one flying across. So I'm just going to I've decided which one do I want. This one I think is pretty cute. Yeah, I'm going to do that one because it's cute. What you need to do is you put your paper down, and then you put your copy side down, lay it where you want it on your paper. And then once it's on there, one thing I thought about, I'd try. I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to use a little piece of washi tape just to hold it down so I'm not playing around, because you don't want to move. You don't want it to move once you've started the process. So I'm just going to put this where I want it. It's going to stay right there. And I've got to put it where I'm not going to have any of my toner or my ad marker in the way. So that's all I need, just enough to kind of hold it down, and then I'm not playing around with it. You will need your, one thing helps is if you use your folding tool as a burnisher, that's helpful. So I'm going to get this thing out, and I'm going to use that. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start. Now this is where it gets stinky. So, if you have a fan, or if you're in a room and you just blow just get the air going, but I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to do this quickly. I've got a very fresh ad marker because you don't want an old dried up one. And the solvent is, like I said, is xylene. So it's a very strong, odoriferous, it's pretty strong. So, and I want to cover the whole thing with the solvent, the clear blending stuff. Now that's probably all I need to do. And I'm just going to take it and cover it. And then I'm going to take, yeah. Anyway, I'm just taking my thing, I'm just rubbing it on. And you can leave it on there for a second, just for a minute, or not a whole minute, but just to leave it on for a bit. That is going to evaporate, and it's going to be gone and dissipate, and you won't have the smell anymore. But let's take a look at it here. Let's see how it looks. Let's see if it transferred okay. And I'm going to keep my finger on it, so it's beautiful. It came out, see, perfect transfer. We may even have enough carbon to do another one. I don't know, but I'm going to set that aside because it stinks. And now it's transferred, and I've got a cool little cat. Now I've got my 4 kitties, and I may have them say some things. I don't know yet, but so now I'm going to show you the next thing. So we've got our transfer, and I wanted to share with you how easy that is. It's easy. Any questions on that? Because I wanted to make sure that hopefully the person who asked for it is here. If not, that's okay. I am just glad to do it because it's fun. And it really just kind of, if you're not someone who likes to draw or paint, you can do image transfers. You can take photographs of people. You can make a journal, like a little card with, just memories, just taking some photos and just transferring those, black and white or color. And this one was a color inkjet, but it wasn't a very good one, so it was not a great transfer. So because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and use my nori paste, which I don't use very often. I wanted to show you what I'm gonna do. Oh, the tag size on the jelly plate. Yes. Isn't that fun? Okay, now I got this. Oh, it's brand new. That's a brand new one. Let's see if I got one that's been opened. Let's see, this one might be. Yeah, that one's been gently opened. Now I'm going to use, because I don't like I don't like glue on my fingers. I'm going to use my fusion brush, my flat 1-inch brush. Oh, and just kind of jelly plating. Oh, I bet you that place is amazing. That jelly plate summit must have been great. So I cut a piece of paper that's the same size. It's a little bit bigger than the Mashi Hosho, just a little. Now the thing of beauty about nori paste that you can't do with regular glue is I'm going to put this on here, and I can reposition and move the other paper around. It's amazing how much repositionable time you have with nori paste. I'm just going to put a thin coat on this piece here, and I want it to kind of swell up. I want the moisture that's in the glue to swell the fibers in the paper. I might have to wash my desk because I'm just getting it all over. That's all right. It's just nori paste. Nori paste doesn't, it washes off your fingers, it washes off your clothing very easily, and it almost feels, well, it's like starch. It's almost edible. It feels like it anyway. I don't think you want to eat it, but I don't think it would hurt if you ingested it. So I've got some on that side, and I'm going to put a little bit on this paper, this side. I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm just going to put some on this paper as well. So that's the thing. You want to do coat both surfaces. So you've got, and I'm not going to do a whole lot. It doesn't need a lot, but just enough that you've got, even coverage. And if the fibers of the paper need to swell, which usually they do with moisture, this is giving them time to do that, and that avoids the wrinkling and the buckling that you may have. So this just takes a little time. It's not as quick as a glue stick, but it's just really satisfying because you can reposition and all that, and it's just it has a very nice finish. Okay, so I'm going to just put it on, and now you can see I'm going to kind of move it, and now I can slide the paper. Try that with glue. You wouldn't be able to do that with white glue or any glue at all. I was able to slide that and move it to here. I'm going to get that out of the way. I was able to get it so that I'm going to get this in the way. There we go. And now I'm going to really get that smoothed out with my hands. Yes, yep, it turned out beautiful. And I didn't fold the paper, this paper, but it's thin enough, so it should be just fine. And what I have is a little extra, which is fine. I kind of wanted it a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to trim the areas that are overhanging just a little bit. I could do it with my little paper slicer, but since this paper is still wet, I wouldn't put it through my paper cutter just now. I'm just going to take that and just gently cut those little eggs. There's just a little tiny, like a sliver of that paper hanging off the edge. I'm just going to cut that off. Or if I was a little bit more patient, I could have waited. I could have waited. And, once that dried, I could have trimmed that little excess bit. But there it is. I got it. It's all good. Now it's wet. So I'm going to just kind of beautiful, feels so good. And I'm while it's wet, I'm going to fold it back the way it was. So I have an accordion fold that I've got here and there. Now I have a really pretty, I love the way this is coming together. And I'm going to show you how I made this little accordion. I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you how I made it so you can do one yourself and with the dimensions. So look at that. I love that. And when I glue it into my book, which I think will be not this one, it's going to be this one. I'm going to glue it in. I'm going to wait until that dries first, but I'm going to put it in like this, and it will sit like that, and it looks gorgeous. So when it pulls, I pull it out. There, I got that. I like that. I think that's really fun. So I'm going to just leave that to dry now that it's there. So that's going to take a while with the nori paste because nori paste has a lot of moisture. So just, I'm going to give that like many hours. It's got to be bone dry before I glue it. And I'm just going to stick that under something, kind of not heavy, but just going to lay that there. Okay, so let me show you how I made that. If you're interested in knowing, I'm going to show you how I did the accordion. because you can do this on with any paper. You know, you don't have to do it with the mashi. You can do it with watercolor paper. You can do it with anything. So I'm going to grab my paper cutter. Oh no, I'm going to grab my paper cutter. I'm going to show you the first thing. So when you're doing this, you're going to take some of the mashi hosho to make this accordion. It's really simple. You're going to take that paper and you're going to cut. So we've got the width of or the height of the tag, right? So you're going to need that, and you're going to measure that. And it's just under 4 inches. So I already know that it's under 4 inches, and I'm I don't even know if this is under what this is. I don't see the mark here. Is that 4? I can't tell. That's 3.5. So I'm going to go a little farther, and I'm going to just cut. Actually, I'm not going to show you this step because I don't have my real paper cutter. I'm going to just have a piece already out. Well, let's see, maybe I can just use this. Okay, so it looks like I need to pull it back a little bit. So this paper cutter isn't really good for this anyway. It's kind of you need a real good paper cutter. This one's not that good. All right, we'll scrap that idea. So I'm going to take this piece. It's already cut, but it's just cut off of this. It's basically the length of the mashi hosho, and I just cut just under 4 inches. That's where I did it. Okay, so there it is. It's all ready to go. And then I'm going to use this because I love it. You don't have to use this, but it makes life a lot easier if you have one of these. If you don't, that's okay. So what you're going to do is you can start either whatever side you want. I'm going to start with the smooth side down, and I'm going to measure, and I already have measured it, but I need to know the distance between the spine and the outer cover. So that's about 2 3/4 right here. This from here to here. So that's all I'm going to do is make a score at 2 3/4. I'm going to do it using my tool, just a score line like that. Okay. Okay, let's see. Jane, nori paste good for making paste papers. Yes, it is, Jane. I have used it many times. You have to use a lot of it, but yes, it's great for making paper. You can just like get the studio jar, and it's perfect. So, and you just want to thin the, maybe you can thin it with water, but yes, it works, and you can put your pigments inside there. It's great for that. So I'm going to just fold this. Now I've got my first fold, and then I'm going to take that at where the fold is. I'm going to just put it, kind of sit it right there. And again, oops, I'm going to do 2 3/4 inch score like that. And I'm going to fold it the other way. So we've got an accordion here. And then I'm going to use that last score where I just did the last score right there. I'm just going to get it seated right in that corner there. And then I'm going to do another score at 2 3/4 like that, using my folding tool. And then I'm going to fold it. There we go. And then there's a little bit of extra. There's not much. You can actually, that pretty much covers it. You don't have to trim much. It's just a tiny bit if you wanted to trim a little bit off of that, but it looks pretty good. So your little accordion fold is basically every 2 3/4, every 2 3/4 inches, you want to make a score line. However you do it, if you use a marker, however you mark it. But I'm just using the lazy method, which is using this scoring board. And there's a lot of scoring boards out there, different brands. So I've got this ready to go. So that's how you make that. Okay. I love that. Okay. Now let's go so now I've showed you those, and I want to make sure that, and Jane, I'd love to see your paste papers. I think that'd be great if you showed us your paste papers. Okay, so now I've showed you all those parts to add pages. So now let's talk about adding things like, let's do, see which one you want to do. Okay, so let's do this one because I mentioned this in the last live. I want to make sure it gets done. I just put a video on my YouTube channel that has this. And I do that because then I can remember how to do it too. Oh, paste papers. What are paste papers? Oh, that's another world. Maybe we should do a paste paper thing using nori paste. Phoebe, yay! So this is great. We can do a paste paper lesson, and I could do it on the Mashi Hosho. So yes, let's do a paste paper demo one day using nori paste. So that's in our queue, maybe for the 2 weeks from now. I think that'd be great. All right, so let's do this. So this is the one that I'm going to put in one of these. Let's see, I don't know if I have any places now. I'm one of these. Maybe I should put it in this one. I love the idea. That one maybe, yeah, it's already got one in it, but you know. Anyway, but that's how I'm going to just do it somewhere. Or you can do it on the back of your journal. You could do it on the front. You can add it anywhere. But let me show you how I make these and how you would glue them onto your journal, into your tag journal, or any journal that you have. So for this one, I cut my paper down to 5 inches. So because the 6 inch is just too big for this one. So let me grab my 5 inch. I know it's somewhere. There it is. So what I did is I cut the 6 inch down to 5, and that will give you the size you need. So this actually came, just so you know where the diagram came from, or where the project came from. I'm going to bring out something that has it. I'm going to bring out my little book and show you it's from this book, from my other life. So Karen Elaine, we'll just forget that down here. No offense, Mr. Thomas, but anyway. So this is my book that I did back in 2009, and it's the first project in the book. It's the fold-out heart card. So if you already have my book, this is it right here. So I'm sizing it to that book, or sizing it to this for this. And instead of a large sheet, you're going to use a smaller sheet. So the way you're going to do this is you're going to fold. You're going to take your paper in wherever you want the heart's color to be. So I'm using double-sided paper, which is the collage paper that comes out of this pack right here, the 4561. And I love it because I love some of these sides because they have some pink. You can see it's double-sided with a couple of pink pages, blue, and a couple of blues, but they're printed with a bunch of collage stuff on one side and solid painted on the other. So this is perfect for this. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to fold it in triangle from corner to corner in both directions. I'm going to open it up and fold this in this direction. Okay. Now you're going to open it up and you're going to fold all 4 points to the center intersection right here. Just going to fold those all in. However you get there, you can go opposite like this, or just do it in sequence, but just get all those 4 points. And you can see I'm off a little bit. I've got something has drifted, so I'm going to kind of re-fold that so that those points are nice and sharp here. And you want to do the same on this one. Kind of make sure that get that as sharp of a point without a gap, if you can. And if you need to readjust, just to make sure that it all works out, then readjust it. So now you're going to take your, all these little corners are going to go backwards, and they're just going to go, the point's going to go back up to this. You can see the crease right here. There's a crease. You want to have that point lay right on the crease on that outer fold. And we're going to do that on all 4 corners. So I'm just going to take this, and I have to find that crease wherever it is. There it is. I have to look at it at an angle because I could barely see. There we go. Oh, that's crooked. So something I did wrong. Oh, well, it could be wonky. It's going to be a wonky heart, maybe. I don't know. But I'm just folding these all backwards like this. Okay, like so. All right. And then we're going to take these, like, it doesn't matter. Well, I guess if you just want to know, it doesn't matter which side you start on, but I'm going to open these up like this, just these 2. And I'm going to fold this. I'm going to reverse this fold and fold it down like that. I'm going to reverse this one and fold it up. So now I have this going on. And now I'm going to take this edge, and I'm going to fold it to the center crease. I'm going to take the whole thing. Just going to fold the whole thing. And I got to find that center, wherever it is. There it is. And I'm just going to fold it. Cupboard fold. Same with this side. I'm going to cupboard fold it to the center. And this little part wants to flip out. But I'm going to try to keep it from doing that. I'm just going to fold it under so it won't do that. There we go. I only do that to get it out of the way, and then I'll bring it back out. Okay. Oops. That didn't work out so well, but that's okay. Not every day is perfect, okay? Not everything is good. All right, there it is. So now that I've done that, so I've folded these to the center. I'm opening these up out again, okay? And I'm going to reverse this fold. It's going to be a mountain. I'm just going to take that fold, reverse it, and fold back, go back to the, make a coverage. See, I've got it. Reverse the fold. I'm going to reverse this fold, and I've kind of brought it out this way. So it looks like this, okay? And now I'm going to take, now I need to make the heart. So the heart so right now it looks like this. And so if I take this underneath what's on this side, and I'm just going to fold this bottom part, and there is a, like I said, I just posted the video public today on my YouTube channel. If you need to come to this, if you get lost, because I don't know if I'm showing you very clearly how I did this. But you want to fold this in, this little corner in, and then you're going to fold it over like so, okay? And you're going to do the same thing on this side. You open it up, pull that little corner to that, just that raw edge goes to the closest crease it, and then fold it. Now you can see the heart part down here is beginning to shape, and now we just want to get this part done. So the way we do this is we open it up, and we kind of take a look at it, and I open it so that I can kind of see the folded edges. And I want to make sure I cut. I'm going to do a little cutting, but I want to make sure that it's an even cut. So the way you do that, you can use this as a guide, your top edge here if you want, but you just want them to both be the same size. So I'm going to go just a little under, cutting just not to go farther than that. Just cut a little slice right here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm cutting a little slice in the same length. It's about, that's like about an inch or less. So now you've got these little bits here. And what you're going to do is you're going to take those little corners that you just did, and you're going to fold them. So if I lay it down like this, I take that little corner, and I just kind of fold it back so that what it does is it lays like so. So this is the this is the piece, and you're going to just lay that corner down like so. And you just want to glue that because that one's not going to stay. That's not going to want to stay down. So you just glue that little tiny corner down. Okay. And do the same thing on this one. Just fold it down. And I'll show you how I just fold that, and that little edge lines up on this edge. Okay. And then you just do a little like that. Okay. And now that is done. This part's done. So now I'm going to show you how to do the belly band and the whole thing. All right, so we got this part. It's done. The little heart is so cute. I love this thing. I learned this one actually from a woman in Santa Barbara when I was working. Oh, actually, I was just repping Yasutomo, and I had a customer in Santa Barbara. It was a stationery store, and one of her customers showed me how to do this, and I don't know who that person is, but it was just something she had done, and I'd love to give her credit, but somebody in Santa Barbara. So now I've got this, and then I usually do is I cut a piece of watercolor paper just to fit inside. So the watercolor paper is just a little under 2 inches, and it's just a little under 3.5 to fit inside like that. So I can paint on it later. Now, so for the belly band, let's do that. All right. I'm grateful that Canada has suppliers too. I'm grateful. I wish that there were some way to get products to Europe. Now, I've heard someone talk about a freight forwarder. I guess there's freight forwarders that people can use. I don't know if you know anything about that, but maybe like freight forwarders could be something that people could find themselves using. So, all right, now I'm going to take this one, and I got to figure out the color I want to use for the belly band. Let's see, what am I going to use? I'll just use this. I'm going to cut a piece of paper. I'm going to cut it fairly thick. I think I like this black. I think that's going to be nice. So I'm going to cut a 2.5 inch strip, and I'm going to make a fold that's about an inch. And then I'm going to take the other fold, this other piece of paper, and I'm going to fold it over to meet that raw edge. And I do like that black. I think that's going to look good, so I can write on it if I wanted to. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to give it a generous amount. I might have done this. I feel like I'm in, maybe it's the video. Just like, didn't I just do this? But yeah, I just did the video on this. So now I'm just putting a generous amount of glue in there, and I'm going to put more glue right here. And you really want to give that a generous amount of glue. And this is the white glue that I love using, the Art Glitter Designer Dries Clear. You don't have to use this, but it's nice. And I'm just going to put this and really smooth it down using my tool here and really giving it a nice, like, getting that glue to really spread inside there. And this is the best time to do this is while it's still wet. When I do next, actually, I'm going to probably grab a little, I don't know if that's a good one or not. Let's see. All my little tchotchkes here. Oh, I like that one. That's a pretty one. Okay, I'm going to get that one. So I'm going to just use this here, and you can take wherever you want, however you want to do this. Oh, I'm going to, I like it this way. I think I like this black. So I'm going to just wrap it around. Normally I would do the front. I would wrap it around to the front, but I want to wrap this one around to the back because the back it's going to not be seen anyway. I'm just going to trim off that excess. And while it's still wet, I want to kind of mold it to the sides. I don't want it too tight because I want to be able to slide this thing up and down. So you want to be able to just slide it. And then once you know you've got it the way you want it, then you just take your glue. And I like to use a little barrier paper because otherwise I'm going to glue it to my thing, which I do often. I'm just going to take a little glue. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that, give it a nice generous coat, and then just wrap it and really press that down. Make sure it's on there. Yep, it's on. Okay, that looks nice. Let that sit for a second. And then I'm going to also use that same barrier paper. It's just a deli paper. And I'm going to put that inside underneath my little whatever that's called, the wrap, the belly band. And I'm going to put this right over it. I love the heart over it. I think the heart just makes it. So I'm going to put that right here. And then I'm going to glue it right on there, just center it on, kind of lining that up to the paper. And there it is. So then I'm going to give that just a moment to dry, to set. And then once these are, we know that this is dry and there's nothing coming out. There we go. That should be good. And then this one looks like it's probably fine. So now it's ready. I haven't put the watercolor paper in it yet, but now it's ready to go in the journal. And all you need to do when you put it in your journal, if you decide whatever one you decide, this one already has a couple of those on it. I don't think I'm going to put that one in there. Let's see. I might have put too many so far. So, but anyway, how you do it is you just glue this part onto the journal. As you can see, I did that with this one. So that's how you do it. And that is how you make those. So that, I'm hoping that you got that one. I hope it's okay. Hope everybody was able to get something out of that. And then you can just start, like when you're working in your journals. Oh, let's do a little, tell me what you want to do. If you want to do how can we see how to do the pocket in the tag book? Yes, let's do that now. Thank you. I was just going to that. So now for the pocket, I'm going to use a double-sided paper because double-sided paper looks the best. And I'm going to just grab this paper. I think that looks really cool. Now, you need it to be a rectangle, so I'm going to trim this paper to a 4x. So I'm going to basically just trim it to about 4x6. It's an approximate. It's not exact. All right, so I got a rectangle, and I'm going to just take my rectangle and I'm going to fold it. This is kind of an interesting fold because you just take it and you make sure that the distance is the same right here. This is where you want the distance to be the same. But you also want the top, excuse me, talking too much again. You want the top to be even. So you see how the top is even with each other? And you want the sides to be even. So that's kind of how you do it. You just start that fold. You want to make that even as you can. So the top being even and the side being even. And that's about 1.25 inches, I guess. Now this is where you want to take your card. So if you already have a card, which in this case, just cut the card after so you can, you could use a card if you want to measure something like this. You want to have this fit in it. This might be just a little too big. It might not work. It may just not, it might be too, it might work. Let's just see. Maybe. Or if you, see, I'm going to try a smaller piece here. I'm going to get a smaller. No, these are all the same. Okay. Well, I guess it will work. So if you wanted to fit a certain card, you would just take your card and then just kind of lay it on top and center it like this, and then just fold over these pieces. And it might not work because I don't think it, well, it looks like it will. Okay. You want to fold those over like that. And that's giving you the right width so you can slide it in and out. Now I'm just going to glue these pieces together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crease that. Now that I've got the width of the card the way I want. Now this little part kind of slides. There's not much of a tab to go in there, but this part slides here into that. And what I like to do is I put a little glue. No, actually, I'll put some glue at the very bottom, just just enough so that the card doesn't fall through. I just put a little bit at the bottom. Or you could do washi tape if you wanted to, fold a piece of washi tape. You can do that. And that holds it all together. You don't need to put any more glue because what will happen if you want to use you've got 1, 2, 3 pockets, basically. You've got the one that's going to hold the main piece. And then if you wanted to add something else, you've got another pocket, and then you've got another pocket. I mean, maybe that's kind of overdoing it, but you see what I mean? You've got layers if you want to add layers. And the bookmark, yes, we'll do that too. So that is how you make the little pockets. And then, of course, with these, all you have to go do is glue them into the front or the back of your tag book. You can also, if you don't like these little edges here like that, all you have to do is trim them off. If you don't like those, if you want them to just kind of be clean and you can do it like that. So that it's now a pocket and it looks really pretty. So that's one way. Okay, so let's do the holder or the bookmark. Now the bookmark, I'm gonna cut this down to 3 inches. So it's going to be a 3-inch square. And yeah, like that, 3 inches. It's going to be a little one, but I wanted a little one so that I can make a little bookmark for my little journal. So here we go. Going to do it. So this one's an easy one too, and it's fun, but it just kind of feels clumsy. Excuse me, when you're working on it. But anyway, here we go. We're going to take our paper, and I'm going to decide I want my leaves to be showing this way. So I'm going to fold my paper in half like this. Like so. And then I'm going to take my paper again and keep it folded, but fold it in half in the other direction. Like that. Really give it a good crease using you're going to need your tool, especially for this tiny one here. You're going to fold just take your, you've got that folded crease there. You want to take this raw edge and fold it up to that crease. You can do this on both sides. Bring that raw edge to that crease and give it a good crease. Really good crease. And then you can even kind of fold it up like this if you want, just to really reinforce those creases. You're going to need them. Okay, now you pretty much have everything done. You just need to assemble it now. So you basically, I've mentioned you fold it in half, you fold it in half again, open it up, fold these to the edge like that. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take this top layer only. You're going to open that top, like pretend like that's a pocket. See how I open the top layer and now I can put my finger into this. It's like a pocket, and it is. That's what it is. You're going to get this whole thing into that. So you basically, what you want to do, you can do it like you take your paper, bring it over, and then tuck this part in. So I'm going to take this, fold it up, and then I'm going to tuck this little triangle inwards. And something it doesn't, not easy. It wants to just got to kind of slide it into the pocket like so. And then your little folding tool is going to come in handy because right now you can see it's like kind of a little bit that wants to stay. It doesn't want to go in. So there, now I got it in there. Okay. I love these. These are so cool. And I haven't seen them anywhere. I don't know. Someone showed me this and same thing. Another folder in Santa Barbara showed me how to make this. Now I'm going to take this last piece, this little triangle, and I'm going to roll that in. I'm going to use the existing crease that's already there. And I'm just going to kind of take that and just put my finger in there and just gently roll that in until it goes all the way in. You see how it went inside there? And then I'm going to double check, just using my tool to make sure it's really in there, because that's the only way you'll know. And then you can check on a piece of cardstock to make sure that it fits, that it goes to the edge. Then you know that you did it right. So that is the little corner bookmark. And I love these because especially like this book has that paper in it. You can see there it is. So I can add this, like this one doesn't look right, but this one does. So this one actually goes with it. That's what I like about it. This one works. That goes with it. It matches the whole colorway of that. So you can make these cute little corner bookmarks for your journal as well. So I think I got it all done, and we've got 2 minutes to spare. So this is a good time to ask questions. Phoebe, if you have anyone have any questions or comments, this is the time. So this is the 3-inch, this is a 4-inch piece of paper, and then the bigger paper, the bigger the bookmark. If you want big corner markers, you just make it out of bigger squares. So let me know how you're doing. If everybody, oh, I got some hearts there. Yay. That's awesome. So can we see how to do the pocket in the tag book? The pocket in the tag, that's what this is. That's what this is that I just showed. So we just did the pockets, this one. So the one that you cut, I just cut the chalk paint I used. Yes. So yes. So we did the pockets, we got the corner, we got the accordion, we got the heart fold out card. So those are your extras that you would add. And then the chalk paint that I used is from, let me just grab that for you. It's cheap stuff. All right, let's see. It is, and I don't, I might have bought it off Amazon. I have no idea, but this is the stuff. It's called Hisico. I've never heard of that, but it's a matte paint. So you know what else? Thank you so much. The birds, yes, little birds. That would be fun. So this stuff, usually, who makes a flat paint? Golden makes a so flat paint. That's really nice. It dries flat. Holbein makes a matte acrylic that dries flat, like, even better than chalk paint. I really love it. If you want to like splurge, this is a fantastic paint. Holbein acrylic colors matte. It's fantastic because you get a nice matte finish, but it's not chalky. And then this is a little more chalky finish. So it feels more chalky compared to this, but this isn't shiny, and that's what I love about it. Off to fold, Rebecca Parsons. Yay, I'm glad you're folding. Yay. So I think we got everything, right? Yay. I think I got everything. Any more questions? And I'm glad that you had fun. I hope that you all had fun. I had fun. And, next time, unless you have something else in mind, I really not sure about, maybe we'll see about birds, but maybe I did hear everybody's questions. Okay, good. We'll do I think I'd love to do some paste papers. That is so much fun. to do paste papers. I think it'd be fun to do it on the Machi Hosho. So we're gonna do that because this is the time of year. It's a good time. It's still, not cold yet. What cover do you use on the tag book? Okay, so that's a good question, June. What I did to make the tag book cover is that I collaged using, which I could quickly, here we go. I just take the tag, here's the blank tag. I score it first. I guess you don't have to. You don't have to score it first. You take off the little, I like to take these little protectors off if I can. I keep them. I just take that thick layer off, move them to the side, get rid of it if I can. On both sides, I'm just going to do the one side though. Then you can take your paper and you just decide how you're going to, you're going to just do, you can do like a collage using some of the paper like this, like, let's see, I'll grab my ruler. Let's see, I'll grab a different one. There we go. And you can just take it and start to just make some, make something happen, make it happen. Just start to glue it on. And I'm going to use a glue stick real quick because you could use the nori paste that's in it. So if you don't have a tag, yes, cardstock would just be fine. Cut it to 4x8. Make those little notches on the side and punch a hole using a standard office hole punch. You can do that, absolutely. You could make your own tags. You don't have to buy those. So I'm going to just actually put some of this on here, put some glue on, and I'm going to just go for it here. And this is the fun part. This is the beginning of your tag book. You just start gluing. You can actually glue on the, kind of go over the edges a little bit. So you can see I'm actually going over the edges, and I will trim those edges later. And I've got this piece, and then I can take a piece of something else, like a different color, or like here's one here. That's nice. Or I could want something with a little more contrast, maybe. I don't know. It's a tough one. Tough call. Oh, here we go. That's good. It's got contrast. So I'm going to take this one, and I'll kind of keep it in the blue range, and I'm just going to tear that. And I can go kind of like this direction, I think. Ooh, yeah, I like that direction. So you can just put it in all different directions, like so. And then just lay it on your paper, on your tag. And I'm making it a little farther out so that I can trim it later. And then I can see how quick this goes quickly. This just covering the book itself is a very fast process, especially when you have all these collage papers. It's already done for you. You don't even have to think. It's just already collaged. I'm going to kind of find the edge of this real quick. Maybe rip just that part off. And I've got this little section here. I'll glue that, and then I'll put that be the cover. That's all you have to do the cover. Just a real simple collage, or you can get really crazy too. You can be much more have smaller pieces. But I like to keep it kind of simple because these papers are already they're already done. You don't have to do them any more than that. So now I've got that, and I'll trim the sides. And that cover is done. I'll let it dry first before I do that. But see how easy that is. Yes, and the tag. This is great. But yes, any kind of cardstock, you just have to create your own. And I've done that many times too. So, and that could gives you a little more options if you want to go even bigger. If you wanted to make a larger book like this, use the same idea, but just kind of move it, change it up a little bit. Then you'll have to figure out what size your book or signature is going to be on the pages on the inside. But the scoring that I show in the kit, the scoring about 1/4 of an inch apart gives you the spine on both front cover and the back. So those are things you want to keep in mind when you're doing this. I just love doing this. I love trimming my card so that then I can see how that tag's going to look with me trimming it off just right at the edge. And then what I do is after I've done that, where did I go? Here it is. Then I'm going to find the hole and repunch it. Oops. There we go. Going back in there with the hole so I know where that is. And there it is. So I've got a nice start of a new book. And then this is when, of course, I made a mess of it. I could collage both sides, but I think it gets a little stiff. And if you do both sides, I have done both sides, but it gets so stiff. So I like to paint or stamp or, something like painting on this side would look really nice. Really nice. Oh, see, Peter. Oh, yeah. So thank you for talking about that. And then the very last step, which I didn't show you this time around, I'm going to quickly show you. This is how I, excuse me, score. So I'm going to take of course, I have to remember, it's good to have your instructions. Or if you don't have instructions, you just you kind of figure out, like this one, I need to make these score lines right here at 1/2 and 3/4. There's ways to do it. I'm trying to remember how. Oh yeah, that's right. So I'm going to turn this around so that the tag part's on the outside. I'm going to score at 3, 3 1/4, and 6 1/4, and 6 1/2. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go 3, 3, and then you got to give it a really good score. 3, and then 1/4 inch apart from that, you do the second score line. Then I'm going to go 6 1/4 because that makes it 3 inches apart from here to here, and then one more little score line, and I am done. That's what I love about these scoring tools, because I could do this with other things, but these scoring tools make it just too easy. It makes it nice, makes for life just so easy when you're making a book. So then you just fold it along the score line. So that gives me that 1/4 inch spine. And the same thing with this. It gives that 1/4 inch, it holds plenty, as you see, the signatures and other things. Here, so there it is. And then this is the base of your tag book. And then, of course, everything gets built on that. So you save your little things. And if you don't have those, they make, you can buy those things. Let's see if I got some here. Yeah. These there they are, little reinforcement labels. Those are really nice. You can buy them like this, or you can buy them like this and then paint on them. So you can have your own reinforcement labels, or you can do something like this. You can take, this is a little reinforcement label maker thing. And you can just take a piece of paper and just cut it out. You'll see what I mean. There it is, there's a little tiny cute little one right there. And now that will just, kind of coordinate, or, it just gives it a little extra dimension. That's really nice. So thank you so much for everybody. I think I covered it with everybody. And I hope you enjoyed today's live stream, and you definitely inspire me to try some things. And next time we're going to do some paste papers, or some kind of, if it's not all paste paper, it's going to be we're going to do stuff with paper for sure. I don't know what, but we'll figure it out. So everything good. I hope you all have a great weekend, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, June. Thanks, everybody. We will see you next time. Take care, everybody.